everybody, and welcome to your reading. Today we are doing something a little bit different. So today we are going to be telling you about your past lives. So we have 3 piles here. Simply use your intuition to pick the pile that you feel most drawn to. We have pile 1 right here with the 8. We have pile 2 here with the Venus symbol. And then we have pile 3 here with the Scorpio symbol. So when you guys find your pile, feel free to go to the description box below and just go ahead and fast forward to your pile. Namaste. Hello pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So if you chose this purple 8 right here, this will be your reading. So to start off, the first thing that we have coming through is World War, Holocaust, Allied Defender, Allied Invader, or Hiroshima. So right away, this tells me that there's some sort of big thing that you guys have gone through that was very traumatizing. It sounds like you guys were involved in some sort of conflict. This could also be a big tragedy, a big crisis. And it's interesting because number 8 here correlates with Scorpio as well as the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of crisis, sudden reversals. It's actually the house of past life and past life trauma. So you guys might actually carry some sort of past life trauma with you that does have some sort of connection with like war or a big type of crisis. So the next card we have here for you guys is Orphan. So I do get the feeling right away, guys, that you have some sort of connection to war where you actually lost a parent and were an orphan. This was very common back in the day. So I do think that you guys might carry some of that past life trauma with you now. So some of you guys, I do get the feeling, have some sort of anxieties, fears, or phobias. You guys might even have a fear of being alone, or a fear that something big, something tragic will happen that makes it to where you guys are completely alone and you guys have that past life trauma. So I really think that you could use some of that 8th house energy to actually help you guys out of it in this life. So one of the options is a past life regression. You guys could get some sort of Reiki therapy. I am a Reiki master teacher. If you guys are interested in that, if you feel called to that, I do offer distance sessions if you're not in my area. I also think that any type of, because we have the 8th house, which also is naturally ruled by Scorpio, any type of psychological healing, so whether that's a psychotherapist, a psychologist, a counselor, a life coach, whatever you guys feel called to, I think anything of that nature really could help you heal, because with the 8th house naturally being ruled by Scorpio, that is also the sign of healing. And then the next card we have here is Full Moon in Gemini, Embrace the Flow of Life. So I find that really interesting because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules our thinking. It also does have a little bit of a connection with anxiety, because some people that have a lot of mercurial Gemini energy can have anxiety, because Mercury isn't just the planet that rules our mind. It also rules how we think, and it can give people a lot of anxiety because they tend to have like this overthinking anxiety. And I think with the 8th house ruling trauma, you guys might actually have more anxiety than you do depression. Maybe you just simply overthink things. You have, like I said before, big phobias. I do think that that energy is coming through a lot in this card. And as you can see, this is actually the full moon. The full moon, it kind of heightens our emotions. The moon is rules emotions, and when it's in the full moon, it's actually at its culmination point. So you guys could actually have some issues where you are overly emotional, or you get extremely anxious really easily. You might also always feel like pushed to succeed. I'm a full moon baby myself, so I completely understand if that's something that you do suffer from. So the full moon might actually be a time where you guys feel overwhelmed. A lot of people feel overwhelmed with their emotions. It feels very stimulating because the full moon is to its complete point. I also think that with the full moon energy, the full moon, as I said before, is when the moon is getting ready to start over from zero. It's at the culmination point. So this past life that you guys experienced as an orphan, as a child of war, could have been just this very anxiety-producing, overwhelming life, but it reached a culmination point. So if you guys are carrying any type of that energy with you, I definitely recommend you guys do some sort of healing in whatever way that you feel called to. So the next card we have is the Fool. So this card is interesting because it talks about a person that just sort of steps out into the unknown. The Fool card is like you are going at something and you don't really know what you're doing. It's the 0 card in tarot. It's the very first card in tarot. So it might just feel like you guys didn't really know what you were doing in this past life. It's interesting because with the Orphan, you actually could have been a child during the time that this trauma happened, so you guys really didn't know what you were getting yourself into. I feel like, excuse me, the Fool also talks about innocence, naivety, optimism, impulsive choices, lacking experience, foolishness, literally the Fool. So I feel like you guys lived a life of innocence. You really, you didn't know what to do in this life. You had a lot of potential, but you had to make a lot of rash choices because, I mean, you're a child that's completely left behind by your parents. And if you guys don't have any parents and you're alone, you really do have to become an adult really quickly. And that's really interesting because with that full moon energy again, I feel like you guys had to grow up, like you had to become the full moon and evolve to your fullest potential. So some of you guys, I get the feeling, might actually be overwhelmed with responsibilities. You might feel like you have an abundance of things you have to do, and you may have grown up way too quickly with this energy. I hope that resonated with you all, pile 1. If it did, please feel free to comment below and just let me know how that resonated with you guys. And if you like this video, do feel free to like it. And if you want to see some more, feel free to subscribe below. I'm sending you all lots of love and lots of light on your journey. Namaste. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose this blue die with Venus, this is your reading. So this is going to be all about your past lives and what you experienced. So the first card we have here, it talks about you being a young female. It says you were in the early Bronze Age. Your lesson was self-identity. And the death was a non-contagious illness of some sort. So this happened in Mexico. The trauma was imprisonment. You were imprisoned in some way. Your faith was monotheistic. The love was unrequited love. And again, you were a young female in this lifetime. That is very interesting. And it's also interesting because we actually have the karmic relationship here. So I do feel like it's interesting because we have Venus here. Venus rules marriage. It also rules love and relationships, especially the close relationships. So with I didn't do that on purpose, but that's really interesting. With the karmic relationship coming up here, I do feel like this relationship you were in this lifetime was definitely very, very karmic. It was something that's really meant to be. And it's interesting because from my view over here, I can actually see the North Node on this die. The North Node is a very karmic placement. It's not necessarily an astrological body. It's actually an astrological calculation. The North Node pushes us towards what we're meant to go. It's very karmic. It's very fated energy. It's something that you really can't escape. It's something your soul pushes you towards in this lifetime. So I do feel like in this lifetime it was extremely karmic. Everything was very meant to be. You were learning a lot of lessons. A lot of people think that just because I say karma, I mean something bad. And karma is a double-edged sword. We have the good karma and we have the bad karma. We're all creating karma just by living our life every day, whether that be good or bad. So I do feel like whatever relationship you guys were in that past life is very important. And you guys might even be replaying that past life now in some way. The next card we have is Last Quarter Moon in Capricorn. Leave the past behind. So guys, if you have had a very difficult relationship, and keep in mind that this doesn't just have to be a marriage. Although one of the things Venus represents is marriage, it also rules the 7th house of our one-on-one relationships. So this could also be a relationship with your mother, your father, your siblings, your child, a friend, just a romantic affair of some sort. Really anything of that nature could be involved with this past relationship. And it's interesting because we have the moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn actually rules karma. So I do feel like you guys may have even replayed this relationship in your life, and with that Capricorn energy, I do feel like it could be definitely more on the difficult side. So if you guys have a relationship with someone that you're close with that you've either just completely left behind, maybe it was such a karmic relationship you just had to leave them behind completely, and I know how hard that can be. It would be interesting if you checked in your chart to see where Saturn is. Maybe you have Saturn in the 7th house, literally a karmic relationship. Could be in the 11th house, karmic relationship with a friend. If you guys know your Saturn placement, I'd love if you could comment that below and just let me know. But whatever the case is, it's important for you guys to heal this relationship. I'm hearing you either need to heal it or let it go. So either heal it and try to make it better, or if it's just not working, if you've done everything on your end to make it work, then it's time to let it go. That's how karma works. Sometimes people think that it's all your responsibility. Saturn is the planet of responsibility. Saturn rules Capricorn. Don't feel like it's completely your guys' responsibility to actually heal this relationship. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is let it go. With karma, all you have to do is everything you can. So guys, if you've done everything you can to try to heal this relationship with someone and it's just not working, it just keeps getting worse, then that's okay to let it go. As long as you have completed your obligation to try to heal or fulfill this relationship, you have done everything in your power to make it work, then you guys can let it go and move on. Your side of the karma is cut off and you will not have to relive that in the next life. The last card I have for you guys is a tarot card, the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is really interesting because it's actually the quickest moving card in the tarot. It's very fast. It's a fire energy. It's very quick. So I feel like whatever relationship this was, it formed rather quickly and may have even ended really, really quickly. This could also be with a person that has a very strong element with a fire in their chart. With the fire energy, it could be a sun, moon, or rising, or even a stellium in one of the fire signs, in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or you yourself could be any of those signs. I also think that the Capricorn energy could be really strong either in your composite chart, which is a chart that's laid upon another chart that tells you the relationship connection between the two of you. This could also be a situation where you have a sun, moon, or rising Capricorn. But whatever the situation is, guys, I think it is time to move on and heal from this. I think that with this Venus and the blue energy of calm and peace, and then the Venus having an association with balance, peace, love, and harmony, you guys just need to give all the peace, all the love, and find harmony within yourself. And if whatever relationship isn't working, even if it's a close familial relationship, if it's not helping you anymore and you guys have done the most that you possibly can to heal it, then it is okay to go ahead and leave that and move it on, because you don't have to keep reliving karmic cycles over and over. This life is yours and you guys can make it whatever you want. So I really hope this resonated with you guys. If it did, please feel free to comment below and just let me know what resonated, what made sense to you guys. And if you like the video, please do like it. And if you guys want to see some more videos, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and it'll let you guys know when I post more videos. I'm sending you all lots of love, lots of light on your journey. Namaste. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So today we are just going to be going through one of your past lives here. All of us has many past lives that we've lived. This is just going to be one of them specifically. So right off the bat, we have this Scorpio symbol, and that is so interesting because Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house. The 8th house actually rules past lives. It also rules sudden reversals, crisis, trauma, healing, and anything psychological in nature. It's also like very laser focused, intense energy because we have the ruler Pluto, which is very atomic. So I do think that you guys need to do some sort of past life healing. So if you guys feel called to do any type of past life regression, Reiki healing, I do offer Reiki healing sessions for any of you that feel called to do so. And if it's more conventional, you could go to a psychologist, a counselor, a life coach, whatever you guys feel called to do. So, right off the bat with this first one here, the time frame that you lived in was the World War age. The lesson in that lifetime was to become more natural and get in tune to nature. You died by either being miscarried or you died at birth. The location was in a lost civilization, so this could be some sort of civilization that isn't around anymore. For example, like the Kingdom of Bohemia, which is where my family is now a part of the Czech Republic, Austria, a little bit of Germany. It could be a similar situation as that. So the trauma you experienced in this lifetime was oppression. The faith was fanatical, so you guys could have been very obsessed with your religion in some way, and that's just perfect because Scorpio here actually rules obsession. The love was a spinster type love, and your identity was lover. So that's very interesting. That tells me right off the bat that the love that you guys experienced in that life was extremely important in some way. That's also interesting because, again, we have the Scorpio energy. Scorpio rules sex. It also rules obsession. So I do feel like either you guys were obsessed with someone or they were obsessed with you. This could also point to some sort of obsession with religion. Because we do have the faith being very fanatical in nature, and with the other past life card, we have the monk or nun. That's very interesting because Scorpio here also does have a little bit of an association with isolation. And that's interesting because right here on this card we have first quarter moon in Capricorn, because Capricorn also has an association with being alone in isolation. So I do feel like some of you guys could have been like some sort of monk or someone that meditated a lot. Scorpio also rules anything of the occult nature. So I do feel like you guys were very, very into your religion. You devoted your entire life to your religion, your faith, your beliefs. I feel as though you spent a lot of time meditating, a lot of time alone, a lot of time in nature. You guys were getting into connection with the inner God within yourself. You were getting into a connection with nature. So you guys might have right off the bat really been into meditation, religion, God, anything like that. I do think that some of you might even have brought forth some of those talents into this life, whether that is you have dreams that are connected to past lives. Maybe you have dreams that give you premonitions of things to come. This could also be a situation where you guys are very into occult things. Maybe you're into studying astrology. Maybe you guys are healers or psychologists yourself. This is interesting because this card we have here is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is very earthly, and it's interesting because if you look at this card, this girl actually looks like she is studying. She's alone in this card. She's staring into her candle, and she looks like she's studying something. So maybe you guys did study astrology. I also feel that you guys spent a lot of time, again, in isolation, studying by yourself. I think this life, it's interesting because of the symbols that I see here. Some of them are religious in nature. I do think that you guys devoted your entire life to this religion. And again, I think that you did a lot of studies on your own. I think that this lifetime for you guys was really delving deep into the unknown, delving into the secrets of life. It was all about religion and connection with the God that was in yourself. I feel like this is a super, super interesting lifetime, and I think that you devoted the majority of your life to this work. So I bet you guys brought something into this lifetime. You could have even been with this 8th house energy or with Scorpio energy. You guys could have even brought some things forth. Like maybe you guys are mediums, because Scorpio has a connection with death, as well as Capricorn naturally being ruled by Saturn. You guys may naturally have a connection with God, or you guys might just have some really amazing talents. I do feel like in this lifetime, you may have also had some sort of near-death experience, because we have Scorpio here, which actually would roll over death itself, but it's also crisis and sudden reversals, with the Scorpio being the natural ruler of the 8th house, and Capricorn ruled by Saturn, the planet of death and karma. I feel like you guys had maybe had some sort of crazy near-death experience that just completely changed your life, and you guys went from, you know, being one way to being another. But it's so interesting, because with all this being said, if you look on this card again, it talks about miscarried or died at birth. So this actually could have been a situation where you guys died very young, and maybe you were watching one of your parents experience this. But for some reason, I actually get the feeling that some of you may have died during you giving birth. So maybe you guys gave birth, because Scorpio here rules sex, but with the intention of procreation. It also rules over our reproductive organs. So I do feel like you guys may have like a big fear still in this lifetime, because Scorpio has a connotation with trauma. I feel like maybe you guys actually died while giving birth, and maybe you're really afraid to give birth now. So if that resonated with any of you guys, feel free to write down below in the comments section what you guys actually resonated, what made sense to you. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe, and you can actually hit that notification bell if you guys want to see when I post more videos. I'm sending you guys all lots of love, lots of light, and lots of healing on your journey. Namaste.